Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has finally happened. A new PAC has launched, and its sole mission is to fight back against the Israeli lobby. They are targeting AIPAC heavily, and they just dropped a new ad. The name of this PAC is called AZAPAC. Now, we're going to get into my opinion about PACs and super PACs. This particular PAC is not a super PAC, but AIPAC is a super PAC, right? So you guys know how I feel about super PACs. I'm not, keen on PACs either, but I'm wondering if this is one of those tools that we can use in our toolbox to fight back. And we look back at the way that things have been happening, right? Like we have different tools in our toolbox. We have organizing, direct action. We've protested against the genocide. There's also the tool of electoral politics. And there's just different tools that you can pull from that toolbox. And so I got to tell you guys, whoever created this ad deserves an award. This ad is super, super powerful, super powerful. And they have already launched a couple of candidates. Now, this PAC in particular is not partisan, just like AIPAC is not partisan. So that's something to keep in mind. We're going to go ahead and show you the ad, and then I want to get your take on this. How do you guys feel about this? Again, I told you guys, PACs aren't something I'm really keen on, but I do see it as one tool that can be used to fight back against super PACs like AIPAC. So we're going to show the ad. There's certain parts of the ad I am going to have to remove just because there's certain things we can't show on YouTube. Like I'm not going to be able to show the deaths of people. I can't show explosions. So those things will be removed, but that's not most of the ad. So let's go ahead and get into it again. Introducing AZAPAC. It is the Anti-Zionist America Political Action Committee. Wow, wow, wow. Let's get into it, folks.
The United States of America did not begin with a revolution against tyranny, but the fact is our government acts like the servant of another country. That other country is, of course, the State of Israel. That's a national disgrace. I'm Michael Rechtenwald, founder of the Anti-Zionist America Political Action Committee, or AZAPAC. Let's cut to the chase, shall we? Does Congress represent us? No. With rare exceptions, they work for Israel. These aren't your elected reps, they're puppets.
Oh, I love that part. I love the part when they say they're not your elected representatives, they're puppets. So incredibly true. You guys notice he saw Richie Torres, right? Oh, boy.
And their strings are pulled by donors loyal to the modern nation state of Israel. This isn't an alliance, it's extortion. While we're scraping by, eggs at $6 a dozen, rent or mortgage devouring our paychecks, our leaders have funneled over $21 billion to Israel in 2 years.
Yes. Call it out how people are struggling here in the U.S. and money is going elsewhere. So they're getting into the corruption.
U.S. taxpayers in service of Israel is an estimated $33 billion since October 7th, 2023. That's on top of the $3.8 billion sent Israel every year. Billions that could fix our roads. Billions that could fund our schools. Billions that could house our veterans. Billions that could ease your burden.
Yes, making the connection between foreign policy and domestic policy, right? Like, guys, this is so crucial. Like I said, whoever made this ad deserves an award because that's something I've been trying to do in particular on this show. Make that connection. Look at what we don't have here. Our infrastructure is falling apart. Our homelessness rate is increasing. People are being evicted. Young people can't buy homes. Young people can't start families. This country is falling apart despite what Donald Trump and his administration would tell you. Despite what the Biden administration would tell you, this country is falling apart. So making that connection is incredibly important.
Israel, the largest recipient of U.S. aid in history. Israel, the country that bombed the USS Liberty. Israel, the country using our weapons to mass murder innocents. The money extorted from us funds crimes against humanity. This blind allegiance, this veto on our national sovereignty, this denial of reality must end. We've had more than enough. AZAPAC isn't here to beg. We're here to evict. We're back.
Hey, I love this. We're here to evict. So notice they showed Ben Shapiro, Mark Levin, and the blind allegiance that he talked about. Everybody goes to Israel and kisses that wall. Like, this has to be called out, and it's becoming more normalized to do so. So hell to the yes.
Warriors who spit in the face of this cabal. Jose Vega in New York, confronting the uniparty machine. He's challenging AIPAC darling Richie Torres. Mike Wilnaugh in Florida, an America-only patriot challenging Daniel Webster, a fossilized incumbent who serves everyone but the American people. Aaron Baker, also in Florida. He rejects AIPAC bribes and demands an end to the foreign aid grift. He's challenging the biggest Zionist of them all, Randy Fine.
Oh, Randy Fine has a challenge. Now, again, this PAC is not partisan. So some of these candidates may be running in the Republican Party. Some may be running in the Democratic Party. Jose Vega, for example, is running as a Democrat in the primary and then running as an independent in the general. So they're not partisan. Let's continue on. Let me go back a little bit. I'm sorry. The Randy Fine part is just hilarious.
Randy Fine.
Tucker Carlson is the most dangerous anti-Semite in America.
AZAPAC isn't a protest. It's a reclamation. America isn't a vassal state. We're no one's colony. We're not supposed to be an ATM. If you're done with the fear, done with our politicians taking bribes, done with being smeared with the anti-Semitic label just because you want your country back, then AZAPAC is your army. Head to AZAPAC.com. That's AZA-PAC.com right now. Donate, volunteer, amplify, join the fight. Because we're not pleading for our country back. We're taking it.
That is a powerful ad. That is a powerful ad. Now, if it were me, and this is, my take on this, if it were me, instead of launching a PAC, use this same ad to launch a movement, right? Like a movement outside of electoral politics. One of the things I think is interesting, though, is that they do have demands, right? Their demands is to end this alliance here with Israel, to stop the funding that is going to Israel, to take out the Israeli lobby here in the United States, and to use that money right here at home. And I don't understand how people can be against that. Like, no other country does this. Other countries don't say, I'm going to send our money elsewhere and not focus on the people here. You look at a lot of the European countries, people have universal health care. Some of them have free college. Their infrastructure can be better in many ways. Like, they are taking care of their people. Now, those countries aren't perfect, but look at them and look at us. Look at their transportation system and look at ours. Look at the transportation system in China, for example, or South Korea, and then start asking, those other questions. And I think this is just incredibly, incredibly important. Now, again, I think to take it a step further, I think this should be take that same ad and make it a movement, right? A huge mobilized movement. But I get what he's trying to do. I guess in this sense, it's like you have to fight fire with fire. And AIPAC has a lot of money. They have a lot of donors. Again, AIPAC is a super PAC. AZAPAC is just a regular PAC. And there are differences, right? Like, there's PACs for like teachers and the police department and all those types of things, the firefighters. Like, so there's different types of PAC. I believe Working Families Party is also a PAC last time I checked. But the reality is they are using one of those tools in that toolbox. And I have to say this before we go onto the website. Jose Vega ran against Richie Torres when it wasn't popular to do so. This is his second time running. The first time he ran was the last campaign, and he ran as an independent, and he was relatively unknown. A lot of people didn't know who he was, but Jose has gotten his name out there since then. And I've seen improvements in his campaign. So that's just something I want to mention, that don't forget that. Or for those of you who are new to the channel, Jose did this when it wasn't popular to do it, because he saw what Richie Torres policies were doing to people in that district, right? So let's take a look at the website here. You can see it. It's Anti-Zionist America PAC. And I think it's pretty brave to come out with a PAC that is specifically anti-Zionist. I mean, I can't even say anything else about that. Like that's pretty brave. And let's see what it says here. Zionism has taken over the U.S. government, and the constant subservience to Israel in word and deed makes eminently clear. Opposing Zionism in America means ridding the government of Zionists who serve Israel over the U.S. This demands, among other measures, confronting and competing with entrenched lobbies like AIPAC. Look who else they mentioned. Kufi and J Street. This part here to me was incredibly important, that they didn't just say AIPAC, because a lot of times, you know, people mention AIPAC because that's the one that's more well known. But a lot of money also is raised by Kufi. And that's the PAC for Israel that is targeted towards the Christian evangelicals here in the United States. J Street is basically the liberal version of AIPAC. So I thought that was important that they called all of them out and not just AIPAC. Zionist influence drains American resources, undermines U.S. sovereignty, and runs counter to the interests of the American people. Yeah, this is, it says here, join this broad grassroots coalition that bridges the political divide, uniting progressives and conservatives alike. Only together will we overcome these nefarious influences and prevail. So yeah, this is a grassroots coalition. So again, not a super PAC. Let's go to frequently asked questions, because I do want to show you this. They explain what Zionism is. I think that's important. What is the main criteria to support a political candidate? Again, anti or non-Zionism, right? So they cannot be Zionist. They cannot be connected to that in any way, shape, or form. It supports candidates regardless of party affiliation. Does AZAPAC evaluate candidates on issues such as abortion, immigration, free speech, etc.? It says it aims to uphold the Constitution of the United States and doesn't take a stance on those issues other than Zionism. So again, it's not getting into the social issues. It's not partisan. It's focused, of course, on anti-Zionism. And it says, does AZAPAC call for the dissolution of the state of Israel? It says, no, it doesn't take a position on the existence or non-existence of Israel. Our goal was to de-Zionize the U.S. government. I would go a step further there, and I would say, yeah, I would call for the dissolution of the state of Israel, but I get it. I get what they're trying to do. So that's the website there. Now, why is this important? I'm going to show you in just a second. Eric Adams has been spending the past couple of days in Israel. That's right. Eric Adams, who dropped out of the NYC mayor race, is in Israel. Zohran Mamdani is not mayor of New York. Zohran Mamdani's term hasn't started yet. And Eric Adams is still mayor of New York, and he's in Israel. So let me show you what he said. This is what I mean about this takeover. Let's go ahead and bring this in here. A lot of people are talking about this. NYC Mayor Eric Adams makes his final trip to Israel. You guys have got to see what he says in this video.
Here in Israel, and as I finish, I wanted to come back here to Israel and let you know that I serve you as the mayor, but I want to continue to have the title that's more important to me than anything. I'm your brother. Thank you. Thank you. Here in Israel, and as I finish, I wanted to come back here to Israel and let you know that I serve you as the mayor.
I served you as the mayor. Just blatantly out in the open. So no, yeah, this country has been captured. The United States government, this country has been captured, guys. And people need to take the U.S. back. We need to pull it away from Israel. You get what I'm saying? You have someone who is the mayor of New York City, because again, Zoran's term has not started yet, who's the mayor of New York City in Israel saying, I served you as mayor. Eric Adams is supposed to serve New York City residents as mayor. He's not supposed to serve Israel as mayor. But there it is, folks. There it is. He's not saying he served Jewish Americans as mayor. No, he's telling them in Israel, I served you as mayor. Not his constituents, not the New Yorkers, not the Black community, not the white community, not the Latino community, not the Asian community. New York City is a very diverse place. No, he served Israel as mayor. This country has been captured and people need to take it back. And so I get it. I get what this PAC is trying to do. Again, I got to say, they already got candidates. If you guys want, I can bring them. Jose's been on here a number of times. It was on here fairly recently. But if you guys want, I can reach out and try to bring the other candidates on the show as well. But the reality is this, folks. We talk about the toolbox that we have in front of us and that there are multiple tools in that toolbox. And this is one of those tools. So I'm curious to hear what you guys think about this. How do you feel about this anti-Zionist PAC? I told you what I feel. I wish this was taken a step further in the sense that we had that same ad, but it was to launch a movement outside of electoral politics. Now, ads are not cheap. They're expensive to make. And that was really good, whoever did that one. But imagine if we took that and we took that and launched it as a political movement. They have demands and we can have demands and then maybe even go a step further. Something to think about. I'm curious to get your opinion about this, guys. What do you think? Is this a tool that should be used considering that it's not a super PAC and it's a grassroots coalition? Let me know. Hey guys, this was a Sabby clip. If you like what you saw, hit that like button and subscribe.